So if I may please invite architect Hiren Patel to please come on the stage as well.
Good afternoon. I'm Hiren Patel from Ahmedabadat. And when I got the call from FOAID that we would like you to give some topic to choose upon to what would you like to speak about. And then I thought it would be really nice to talk to the young team over here, young architects, practicing architects, to ignite the thing. Basically, it's not about showing my work, but it's a kind of a platform to talk through my work about we guys need to do something really beautiful. And the previous panel discussion was also happening about foreign architect versus Indian architect, and whether what to do and how best we can do about it. So I just want to kind of ignite about doing something beautiful. That does not mean wherever in the corner of the world you are sitting. Today's time of technology, actually, you have the world as a platform to design. If you are good, I'm sure everybody is good. Everybody wants to do a good work. It's about to get an opportunity to get the good work and good client. And maybe somewhere in the corner of the world, somebody is actually looking for you. And that's what actually happened to us. There was one phone call from our office, and there was a lady from France who was telling that we would like to design for one of our projects in France. And we thought it must be a prank call, because somebody from France asking an Indian architect sitting not even in Delhi, where compared to Delhi or Mumbai, is a much more smaller city I'm coming from, is Ahmedabad, and somebody is calling to an architect based at Ahmedabad to design something in France. Would be definitely has to be a prank call. So we neglected that. And then there was one more email came. Email had the picture of me, picture of one of the project I did, the house project I did in Ahmedabad. And again, requesting form kind of email saying that, will you be working for our project, which we are really looking at an architect like you, and we want to have a project in city of Bordeaux, which is in France, 2.5 hours train time for the city. So again, we neglected. And then there was a serious call from her, and we say, okay, we'll come on Skype. We realized there was somebody really was keen to have us on the board. And so the Katherine, she came in the front of screen on the Skype call. And then she said, I still remember her first word. She said, Mr. Patel, can I call you Hiren or Mr. Patel? I say Hiren is fine. I'm not so old guy, so you can call me Hiren. And she said, Hiren, will you design for us? This was a word I still remember. She said, Hiren, will you design for us? We dream that you will design for us. Just अंदर से बोल रहा है कि नो हाँ ही बोल दो यार, somebody is calling you from France to design. Obviously you want to work. She said, we don't know whether we can afford you or not. We are NGO based in Paris, and we have seen your work, and we love, and we want you to design our projects. So things got sincere about it, and we started, that's the projects on the riverside. It's a city called Bordeaux. Bordeaux is known for winery, and it's a UNESCO heritage city. And they want to design a community center for sustainable way of living, and its program is very simple. It's a roughly 500 square meter construction, and it's about the entertainment area, workspace, and the living space. So finally, they called me for the site visit, and actually what happened that I would like to share with you all of guys, that when I went to France to visit the site, I had a tremendous pressure on myself. It's not about an Hiren Patel is designing a project in France, but it was an Indian architect is designing in France. So whatever I do, whatever I present the things, has to be, like I'm representing India. I'm representing all of you guys. So we were very careful that whatever the way we have to prove that, look, Indian architect can also do a work the way the French architects are doing across the globe. Indian architects can also do the things. So I went to the airport. They were waiting for me on the side. I came out from the smaller gate, and they suddenly saw me, and they said, no, you go back, and you come from the main gate. And as I came, I didn't know whether I to say namaste or shake hand, or you hug with the cheek, touching each other's cheek. That's the French way once you become friend. So I just say namaste, they say namaste, and we shook hand. And actually, they were documenting the whole thing. There were cameramen like the people over here, and they were documented the whole thing. And then I went to the site, shivering with the cold, looking at the site, giving my reaction about the site, and meeting the authority like a mayor, the town planner. They were documenting the whole movie for the entire process. And the Katherine said, Hiren, if the project is through, we are through with the film. I mean, she is the anchor in the TV once upon a time, so she understands the value of the documenting the things. And so she said, Hiren, if the project goes through, we don't want to miss a single moment of yours visiting and doing the work as an architect for us, and we don't want to miss any of the such moments, and we would be ready with the film. So that's the way, I mean, they were sincere about it. And I will just go through about the project very quickly. It's simple. It's in front of the bridge which was made by the Napoleon Bonaparte, and across that it was an industrial area where we have a building which is simple. We have the kind of restaurant block over here. Center part is a green house actually, which is like a garden, and where you actually work, and that's a residential zone for some roughly 15 to 18 people. So that's a site, and that's a heritage city, and that's the bridge by Napoleon Bonaparte. This side is always remain industrial things. And if you remember in 1984, there was a kind of movement happen in Paris. They brought a lot more architecture projects into the Paris to improve the tourism. And the same guy who has now gone to the Bordeaux, and he's building up the similar tendency, and they say it's a crescent of the moon. So if you go Google and see the heritage city, so mayor came with the idea that we'll make a full moon, and let's develop the rest of the part. And I think Biak Angel is designing some project over here. He keeps on putting on Instagram that he's coming up with center. And MVRDE is also making beautiful complex there. And we, Indian architects, it's not me. It's we, I mean, it's the Indian architects designing something here. And I had a presentation in front of the town planning committee, and I'm sure they were all wanted to judge. An Indian architect, do we really require an Indian architect? And the town planners, and he was a town planner, and he was sitting, and he was the one who was responsible to have the Biak Angel for the project. He said, we want him to be here. So then in my presentation, I say, you have big architects, you have big, I'm the smallest guy, but we are very small and sensitive, so we will try to do our best thing. And we just gave the presentation they love our work earlier, and they say, yes, you are welcome to the Bordeaux, and the project is on the January onwards, they are going to do the groundbreaking, and then we have local architect who's going to take further on the move. So I'm running very through about the project. I mean, I don't need to say we all are architects. That's a narrow land, and we were supposed to design the things, and that's the site. It's opposite to one railway station, which is converted to the theater, and that's a simple plan. That again, I saw it's in a simple grid, and that's a kitchen and dining, and we have lots of pioneer to this. So we have very one of the finest chef is going to run the restaurant, and entire building has different materials. So we have G2E is from Swiss people. They make glass, gets the energy. We have Brica wood from the France. They make wooden bricks from there. We have some Russian guy who's making from plastic waste to the bricks and the plastic. We have that. We have one German guy who makes a faucet for the space engineering. We are using him. We have Fitar Store. He's a guy who from the Paris who cleans entire river of dirty rivers by using natural plants, and he does lots of work in the China and Africa. He's going to do the water body for us. We have Californian people who makes robots for farming. We are going to use them. We have another people from UK. They make robot for cooking help. So it's the hands moves on the cooking. So they are going to install. So it's basically we have different pioneers, and we will be using them into entire things to create the center for sustainable way of living. So it's basically dining. That's a dining where people can come and visit. That's the workshop which keeps on happening, and that's the people who come from the other part of the world can stay for a while when the workshops and things are there. So that's the basic plan. That's the front part of kitchen, simple as you know. That's the middle plan. So I will come back to this thing that it's a greenhouse, and that's what they actually love. What we say that workspace will happen into green, and we created in India we have the courtyards. So here we create the greenhouse because this courtyard doesn't work in the cold climate of France. So that's, we also have yoga space and things like that because they started believing in the thing. And we are thinking to have team lab to work on the yoga space for lighting design. That's the residential unit. That's how it was there. After that, we design and the entire building becomes single story because the neighbors oppose for the double-story building, so we have to rework out the things. But that's the process which is very common in the Europe. I have been working in Switzerland for in exchange program. I went and I worked in Swiss architecture firm, so I knew about the process. So that actually helped, and it's a simple building with a single structure. These are the very early sketch of detail presentation, and that was one of the perspectives we made at the early time, and that's how it would look from the heritage city with the reflection of the pool and the kind of imaginary things. And then I was wondering, Katherine became friend. Katherine is such a sensitive lady, and she's in fact a friend of Patrick Blanc, if you know. Patrick Blanc is a person who invented the vertical garden. That's how we see vertical garden everywhere. So he invented. And Katherine said, Hiren, I visited her apartment in Paris, and she has a beautiful vertical small garden in her kitchen. She said, Hiren, this is the first vertical garden Patrick had made at my home, and that guy has now superhero. And so, she has such a good connection across, her French people. And I said, Katherine, come on, I still wonder, I look at the building by Jean Nouvel, and they are such a futuristic, and I wonder how can one day you can learn such a sensitivity of design with this guy. And somehow I've been brought to France by French lady, and I was still in a dilemma about it, no, because it can happen to any one of us. So she said, I said, Katherine, tell me, why did you selected me? What is the reason for you to design? So she said, Hiren, I'm designing a community center which is meant for the entire human community, not only French people. And she said, our French architect, they make boxes. And you are the one who creates the courtyard. And I love courtyards. That's why I want an Indian architect. I love your work. So creating courtyard is, I'm 110% sure maybe all of you guys can come up with such a brilliant idea of creating courtyards. So look at having a pride of your own architecture, your own qualities can take you to the global level. So that's what I wanted to say, that let's forget about the people coming from other part to the rest of the world to us. If you are good, if you have something beautiful, if you put on surface in such a way, I think world can become also your clientele. And this is a courtyard which any of Indian architect would do fantastic courtyard, better than, I'm sure, than the French architect, because we have been brought and since childhood by living in courtyard and seeing the courtyard from the school to our own house or our grandparents' house. We are experts in courtyard, so definitely we can be a people who can design a better courtyard. And if you promote courtyard, and if you make that courtyard is a way to have in architecture, maybe entire world is looking for you. So that's how we got the project in France. Same thing, I would say that I have lot many mentors and gurus, and I keep on learning from them. So there is one landscape architect called Made Vijaya from Bali. He was an Austrian guy. He is no more. Fantastic guy. He was one of the pioneer person who brought beautiful garden into the resort of Bali, and that's how Bali become like a kind of brand across the globe. And Made Vijaya has been working across the globe, was working across the globe. And he always used to tell me that, Hiren, what has gone wrong to you guys? Whenever I have to see an Indian architecture, why do I have to go 500 years behind? I mean, come on, you guys were so good. If I look at Modera Sun Temple, or maybe any architecture, historical monument of Delhi, Qutub Minar, they are so fantastic. But now what has happened to you guys? So he said, what is wrong? I mean, you were so good at everything, and suddenly has become, I mean, I don't see any sensibility of current architecture of Indian architects. And once upon a time, you were the kind of motivator for the rest of the world. You were so good at it. So that's clicked me, and I thought it would be nice. It is always to have a pride of our own heritage and architecture. And what is so-called, we have to really look for the regional architecture. I mean, Japan is a one country which has so much of pride of their regional architecture. We as Indian also should have a lot more qualities in our own architecture. Why can't we do that? So we got one project. I will run very fast because I'm seeing that 4 minutes left. I would rather try to finish as fast as possible because we all are running behind almost an hour, and that's not so nice. I mean, we all need to also learn on those things. So I will try to finish quickly on these projects. Can I have, I have 3 minutes left. Can I have some 4 or 5 minutes more? Anyway, I keep on running. So that's the house on the riverfront. And that's a section, and that's how it's a single-story house. And the client came and he said, I'm coming from the small village of Saurashtra, which is the western part of Gujarat. And he said, I love my village houses. And aren't they so good? You have freedom to do whatever you want to design because you are an architect, you are like a doctor. I should not rather say anything to you. My requirement and you finish, I mean, you just do. I mean, I don't really bother you in terms of what you will design. You have 100% freedom. But one word he said has clicked me, that he said, I'm coming from the small village of Saurashtra, and our houses were so beautiful. Weren't they are beautiful, or aren't they are beautiful? And then we thought, let's keep that in mind. So we thought that our villages has a very organic way of doing the things. Why can't we also design building like a resort and kind of scatter from like a village houses? But it will have kind of grid. So there is a little discipline to design it. And the second thoughts came that our villages doesn't have a garden. I mean, we have chalk and people and banyan tree, but not really garden. So why can't we have the village houses with a garden? So that's how we thought, let's bring lot more garden and try to bring something beautiful things. So that's how we thought of. And again, the same thing, that we have kind of different kind of courtyards, sense of arrival, and kind of a courtyard with the plantation of lemon grass, so mosquito stays away. And this is how the building came up. And as an architect, earlier when we were working, we thought it would be wonderful to have exposed concrete walls with a single roof. We were very clear about the sloping kind of roof for this project. But in terms of material palette, we were just thinking that it would be nice to have exposed concrete and singles. It will look fantastic. But then again said, this guy said our houses of village are so beautiful. That means the material palette of the village houses are not good. Why the exposed RCC would appeal to me or an architect or an designers, or why the single roof would appeal? So we said, let's take a risk. Even though we had a complete freedom, let's take a risk. Let's recreate the country tiles. We got it made from Morbi, like a village roof tiles. And we thought we'll simply make the plaster wall and paint with earthen tone and try to bring out the architecture. If we'll fail, next project we'll go with exposed concrete and singles. Definitely we'll have more kind of so-called designers appeal. But here we don't want to, let's take that much of risk. And we came with the house which is fantastic, and that's how there are images of the houses. That's the kind of pavilion, and you have the reflecting pool. That's how you enter the courtyard, first courtyard, and get the glimpses of the spaces around. That's the first entrance arrival veranda. And what I would also like, I mean, so that's we do some of the project in Kerala, and Thrissur is a beautiful city, and they have such a beautiful copper roof temple, and we got an inspiration from that, and we thought rest of the house would be that, but let's create a temple structure which is little different than the rest of the structures, and it has a single room with the jali, so it's a kind of open temple which is more like a stands into the landscape by like an art object. And we do architecture, interior, and landscaping together. I strongly believe that it's always good to do everything together, because if three geniuses are working in one canvas, may not give the best results. So if you are even not so good at landscaping, you can definitely do a better job, and you can take always help of Mali and let's say horticulturist people to create a selection of the plants and things like that. So also I would like to say that doing good design should become an inspiration. So these are the pictures are taken by the Patrick Bingham Hall. He's an old guy. He must be 65 plus, a tall British guy who has made most of the books of Woha architects from Singapore. So Patrick has come to photograph this project, and most of the pictures are by him, and a few of them are from the Chanakya Patel. He's an architect based in Ahmedabad and a photographer. So most of the pictures are by him. And I would like to say the one story about that. I mean, he came on a day where our rupees become zero on a demonetization day, and he called me, Hiren, I don't have money. And I say, that's okay, sir. Even I don't have money. And I say, even anybody is going to come and visit you will not have any money, because money has been banned, Indian rupees. So don't worry. He was really scared. We say, we'll send you one car to pick you up from Mumbai to come to the Surat. And don't worry. I mean, so he came and he took a picture. And when he was coming, so as an architect, I had taken extra help with my Ahmedabad Chanakya photographer. We had done some photography as a homework. And I had some of the images on my mobile phone. So when Patrick was doing photography, I used to take out my phone and say, look at this angle we have taken and this kind of thing. And he said, yeah, it looks nice. And he started doing, and he did photograph whole day. And we have a kind of army to arrange everything and kind of thing. So he went back home to the hotel. And next day morning when I called him from the breakfast, he said, Hiren, you know what happened? I say, I don't know, sir, what happened? He said, I deleted all the pictures we photographed yesterday. I said, why did you? I mean, I was got the whole day shooting with so much of zeal. He said, I deleted everything. I said, why did you? He said, I was looking at the pictures in the night after dinner, and I started asking myself, hey, Patrick, what's wrong with you? This is Hiren's iPhone photograph, not my photograph. So at the age of 65 years, he has so much of his own kind of zeal to do best of his. He said, I was completely driven by your iPhone pictures, and I thought, this is not my pictures. I want to capture a Surat in my design or my photography. So I deleted everything. Next day, he said, you guys just stay away. He himself used to carry his own tripod, kept walking. He said, I don't need any of you guys' help. And he spent 2 more days. And he photographed brilliantly, I would say, to capture the Surat with an eye of a photographer. And he's also architecture critic. He always said that I'm the only guy in the world who is a critic, and he's a photographer. So he understands the places and does the things, talk about that nicely. So that's how he has taken a nice picture of looking at the jali. So he was so fascinated by the jali. So that's appeal to the rest of the world, no? He said, come on, I mean, you're such a brilliant, you created jali. But jali is it is within us. I mean, we can definitely do a better jali. So he was fascinated by the kind of shadow is happening. Perhaps I did not even notice that. And he perceived that. So that's how we have our own quality. If we put in a nice way I'm sure the rest of the world will going to look with, will admire our work and things like that. So that's a temple. That's the garden is happening. That's one of the dining hall. We have lots of good artwork, and we have one of the most expensive artwork over here. It's just purple, red, purple painting. So beautiful one it is. And the client came and he said, "Sahib ne phone karo ne कि आ पेलू आयु छे ना ऊपर शू लगाड़वानुं छे." Means, why don't you call architect Hiren that we have that frame has arrived to our wall. Now what else has to be put on that frame? And we say, "Sir, that frame itself is one of the most expensive painting, and that's the one, the artwork." So that's how the clients are, but he really had a trust on us. These are the beautiful light from the Claw from Delhi, Pratik, and they did fantastic work for us. That's one of the bedroom from the top. That's a room, that's a living space. Yeah, I do lots more painting and watercolor and sculptures. So I made these sculptures and they made fantastically. It's 20, I'm almost done. Sorry? Yeah, I think like, I still have time. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's a tower of trees I just made in a small scale, and they erected so nicely. Looks fantastic. That's the way you enter. We have such a beautiful craftsman. Just look at we just use the bamboo, we cut half, inverted, brought the inner structure outside, and you have the chandelier. And that's through one sketch. I mean, the local carpenter has done such a beautiful workmanship. You see the ceilings also inverted, cut and kept that bamboo, and we have a very economical but beautiful design of ceilings. So that's how the bamboo ceiling looks like, the chandelier looks like. That's how the nice work by the artist called Apurva. These are the sculpture. So I just made it, and I'm so happy that somebody believed in that, and truly they look magnificent over there. That's how the landscaping is overtaking to the architecture. That's how, yeah. And apart from our architecture, we just need a lot more things. So we need to balance the life, and I would like that. I'm sure people must be fitness freak, but that wisdom came quite late to me, that I keep on running for marathon and things like that. So that's after 5, 7 o'clock, that's the life. I'm with these guys at the Karnataka club. And you feel like coming back to school, and we request our coaches about can we have the water break and things like that. But the fitness is very important for all of us, apart from our so much of work. So they are the buddies at the things. And I always go to the one farm to work to understand about the landscaping as a gardener, not like designers. And these are the people who really inspire. You walk nowadays and you can actually smell of rice, and there's something called smell which we people are just forgetting about. So there are a lot more kind of hobbies will keep you boosting to do a better and better work. So I hope it helps to ignite everyone to do the best work across the globe. I would love that the people, young team would also do the kind of the opportunity we have. I'm sure somebody will find Mexico, somebody will find France, somebody will find Switzerland. It's a world platform, and if you do, I'm sure you will have a lot more opportunity and not to worry about. Thank you so much.